Hey, what's up, Ryman? If you look at the pictures, if you look at the pictures, uh, that was from the last day of school. They gave me flowers, and I'm like, wow, because I never got flowers before. Well, I got flowers before, but never from a school, because usually they give it to like the Japanese teachers. I'm like, they're not going to give me flowers because I'm just that gaijin guy that's going to be gone. But this year, you know, they we had the ceremony. Usually it's like a dinner with, well, not a dinner. It's like a lunch, and they have a little bento. Well, it could be a dinner, but I have never gone to any dinners, right? So usually it's like a bento, a little lunch or whatever, and then they call up the teacher, and the teacher gets up there, and they're like, "Wow, I enjoyed teaching here." Then the waterworks happen, and then people, boop, 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 boop. Then they give them the flowers, and they give them money. So I know how it goes. It just never happened to me. So this year, I'm sitting there eating. Well, it was a bento. Bentos are Japanese lunch boxes, basically, and they have different types of things in there. Sometimes it's like chicken and rice, and other times it's sushi. This one had little pieces of chicken, a little bit of rice, and then the rest was like seafood. So I was done eating after like 5 minutes. So then this guy comes up to me and he's just all like, I call name. And now I'm not making fun of him because the English teacher was right over there, but he chose to like talk to me directly, which I respect. And he didn't know this, but another teacher already told me that he's going to come up to me and tell me that I am going to go up there and get flowers. Well, I didn't know I was going to get flowers. He just said, you got to go up there and talk. So I'm waiting for him. He comes over, he does this little thing, and then the English teacher, who I don't like, she's like, do you understand? I'm like, yeah. And then, we're done eating, and then the guy's like doing his thing. He gave me a code word. The code word was go to class. So I didn't hear the code word, so I'm just like, because nobody was going to class, so I was like, well, I picked this code word. Pick chocolate or something. So then everybody's like, Mashu, Mashu, Mashu. So I get up there, choo, 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 and I'm standing there like, okay. And then the principal comes and he shakes my hand, a nice firm handshake, because Japanese people don't really do handshakes. They do the bow. But he shook my hand, nice, and then like we talked. And, like, I really did like the guy. He didn't speak English, I didn't speak Japanese, but we were here. So he gives me the flowers, and then he gives me an envelope with money, and I'm thinking, how much money are they giving me? Hoping it's like $200, but Japanese people are so nice. Maybe it's $500. What am I gonna do with $500? And that's where my mind's going. So then it's time to give my little speech. Now they knew for at least all year that this is going to be end of the year, blah blah blah, but I didn't find out about it until like the day before. I didn't know that I was going to have to get up there and give a speech until 5 minutes before, which is typical of how it usually goes, so I'm not surprised about that. So I'm like, you know what, I'm not even going to go about trying to give a Japanese speech. I'm just going to talk in English. Y'all just going to have to deal with it. So I'm like, hey guys, I enjoyed working here, which I did. That's not a lie. And it was very interesting, which is a safe word. Interesting. That could be good or bad. And then I said, I taught at 5 schools, actually 7 schools total in the years I've been here. Because some years you actually teach at 2 or 3. You could teach at 4 different schools. So I'm like, I taught at 7 schools since I've been in Japan. And this school is the best. And everybody's like, which I wasn't lying, because one, the food was Mashu approved, Rhyming Gaijin certified. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 4 out of the 5 days it was chicken or salmon. Chicken or salmon. And the rice was always white. Sometimes they had like bean rice or some weird seaweed rice or vinegar rice, but for the most part it was always white. And the ladies, the the other female teachers, we had a connection. So on days when they would mix the rice with the seaweed, they would separate a little bowl for me. And on days when there was chicken, they know I like chicken, they'd put extra chicken on for me. So yeah, food was off the hook. I never really went, I mean, I was always hungry, but I wasn't like, at other schools, I just didn't eat. And they used to harass me. Come on, try this, you might like. No, I'm not gonna like it. I'm not. I'll die before I eat the food. And it got to the point where, you know, I was just kind of like, I don't smoke. Because they came at me like, it's not healthy to eat the way you eat. And they just wouldn't shut up. So I'm like, you know what? I don't smoke. I don't drink. You do. So the way I see it, I die of cholesterol and you die from cancer. Shut the hell up. Get out my face. But, you know, that's kind of a strong stance. So then the next year I was just like, I'm allergic. And that kind of, they're like, you're allergic to this? Yeah. And I'll die if I eat it. And it kind of, you know. Anyway, back to the thing. So this was the best school. And then the teachers, there was like half of them were like younger than me. And then half of them were actually like people I'd want to hang out with. They're not all like, that's, you know, some teachers are weird, but these teachers are really cool. I never hung out with them, but if I'm going to hang out with them, those are the type of teachers I would hang out with. So there was the best. So I was like, best schools, the teachers are the best. And they're like, eh. The students were very good. Eh. And this big screen TV is very good. And they're like, ha 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 ha. But I wasn't lying. This school had like a 55-inch flat screen. So every time I showed my videos, we pull out the flat screen. Because other schools had these little tiny boxes and no one could see my video all the way over there, you know what I mean? So I wasn't lying. And then I was just like, you know, these are the first time I ever got flowers. When I go home, I'm going to give it to my girl. And they're like, ha, 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 ha. And I sat down. And I'm thinking, okay, how much money did I get? Come on, 100, 200. Because all year I was paying money. I had to pay $15 every month. It was the only time the vice principal ever spoke to me. He'd be like, Mashu, give me money. And he's laughing. That's the only time he ever laughed. All the other times he's just like, yeah, you don't do any work. Get out of here. Why we have to pay? So I'm thinking, why am I paying all this money? And I found out throughout the year, the money goes to like if you get married, all that money they give you a percentage. Or if you have a baby, they give you some money. So I'm thinking, if I got married, would they give me the money? I'm paying just like everybody else. And if I had a kid, would they give me money? And what if I had a kid and got married? Do I get two? These are the questions I don't know. Now I'm thinking, how would they prove it if I did or didn't get married? Because I want my money back. So I'm thinking maybe they're just going to give me all the money I paid, which would come out to like $200. So I'm sitting there. So I was second. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 more speeches. So now I'm like, wow. And the last one was the principal. So that is like usually in a schoolroom, school situation, setting, whatever, there's about 35 teachers, 30 teachers. 15, including myself, or leaving. So that's like half of the staff is gone. Next year, 15 new teachers. So now I'm like, all right, 15 divided by a possible this amount of money. Come on, man. There's no way I'm going to get a lot. Unless they're giving me $100 and everybody else 50. So, and then out of the speeches, all the women were just kind of like, and all the guys were like, but then there's one guy, this guy, he was really cool all year. He was tall and he played basketball and he had a good command of class. He gets up there and he's all like, and he starts crying and I'm like, come on, man, not you. And then he just sits there, like it was like 30 seconds, it just, and then nobody knows what to do. And then he wasn't finished. He's like, and so yeah. And then this other guy, he teared up and the people are gonna give him napkins. Like, I got my own napkins, and he's all. So then, finally I leave with my flowers, and I'm all like, I got some money, And then I get to the train station, and I walk by this other guy. I don't know him. I don't know what he does, but he had the same flower. Like you see these flowers. I'm sorry. You see these flowers right here. He had the same one. It's like my school went to the end of the year, give the people this kind of flower shop. Kind of felt cheap. I thought it was special. So I didn't check how much money I got until I got all the way home, because I was just so excited, you know. So I get home, I rip open the envelope, I look in there, it was $20. $20. $20. Now I know it's 20 more bucks that I didn't have before, and they didn't have to give it to me. And probably everybody else got $20, which I doubt. I'm sure the principal got like $8 million, and I got $20. But the principal's cool, and he's leaving. So, you know, blah 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 blah. But yeah, so someone asked me before, where am I going to work, and why am I changing jobs, or blah blah, something like that. I don't know. It's the Japanese way. Every year they just change teachers. I don't know about other companies, but in schools, that's what they do. They change every year. And I thought that, at first I thought it was only me, because the companies can't keep the contracts, and then they switch. But it's just the schools. They're just like, let's try. I don't know the thinking. Maybe it's, well, let's give them something new this year. And I don't like it though. I really don't. Because, you know, imagine if you're watching James Bond, right? And then the next frame, the next shot, it's a different James Bond. I mean, they switch every 2 years or every whatever. But, you know, if they keep changing it, and then with education, how can you really focus on the thing, you know? And then English, you know, you see how I do it. What if another guy came on my channel? You'd be like, who is he? And then you're like this, but you're like, how come you don't rhyme? The guy's like, I'm not a rapper. Why would I rhyme? You know? But that's just how it is. So, my new job, I'm actually leaving the whole school scene. I'm going to the private sector. Well, it's not private, but 1-to-1 teaching, or 1-to-5. It's called a kaiwa. And the hours are different. I think I'll be getting up at 10 to 6. So I could sleep in a little later, go to bed a little later, wake up a little later, but not too late. And the money's a little bit better. And I think the job is secure, more secure. So next year I might be at the same company with the same students, which is what I really want, you know, because I like to be able to make a bond with people. But anyway, I'm about to get out of here. So, peace.